Okay, Metroid Prime 2, with a little bit of delay. I might be able to sneak in another Metroid stream before I go to the convention. Samu Swan. Someone asked if they should see King Gizzard live, or if they should listen to them because they couldn't tell if they liked them based on my shitty phone recordings. Listen to Rattlesnake. Listen to all of Flying Microtonal Banana and see what you think. But, or you can just go on their Spotify, listen to the top 10, and I'm sure you'll like them. Vigibum kinda got me into them. I mean, he was one of many people who suggested them. But they were already playing music that I had, you know, heavy interest in. That's true, Jeff. No, I am playing it down. That's right. I think with the amount of recommendations that people gave me, I would probably listen to them anyway at some point. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I like the album with the banana. Okay, no, this is where I'm supposed to be, okay. It's time to navigate poorly. To go underwater. I don't want to go underwater. Mobility is very limited. Nope. Gapefish. Blog. Incredibly durable aquatic predator. Powerful, fast-moving water dweller. Outer hide is impervious. Heavy weapon hits will only aggravate it. Its mouth, however, is vulnerable to damage. They got a little lazy naming that particular fish, didn't they? This is not a fun enemy to try to kill. Especially while my mobility is piss. Time to take the piss. That worked. The stutters will even out a bit. Things that happen for the first time do that, and then it kind of stops a bit. I think I might still have to be underwater. No, can't do anything there. Oh, here's the thing. Security interface initiated. Security lock disengaged. Disengage all locks to gain access to secure area. Glad you decided to keep Superstar Mario for the emote. I like Superstar Mario. I think that's a better... It looks better as an emote. Anyone else in agreement that our current Mario emote is possibly, like, even better than previous Mario? Oh, you can't make everyone happy. If you could ask Charles Martinet to say anything, what would it be? I don't know. I kind of feel like asking someone to say a thing can get a little, I don't know if I'd want to ask him to say anything specifically. However, let's say if you take the human aspect out of it, and you just kind of say, okay, well, this is a dude who's gonna say anything. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be time to take a piss. In what voice? Any voice is fine. Maybe the Waluigi voice, just because, you know, this is the season of Wa. Did anyone hear the Billy Joel cover of Waluigi as Billy Joel? Wah, for the longest time. I played it on stream. Good memory I have. Okay, so these need to be accessed from a different location. There is a door at the very bottom here. This room is very confusing. So maybe I can... There's a door at the, like, the very, very bottom that leads to the boss. Okay, so that's not available yet. This is where Metroid Prime 2 takes what you know about Metroid and Metroid Prime, and it makes you work for the solutions. You got a new item recently, remember. I got the super missiles. I think this area is done for now. Because there's 3 doors, toomst of whomst I cannot access. So let's go. I just like the music. I was happy to be there to listen to the music. Couple of other new emote ideas that people have submitted. I'm gonna round them up at some point and see what which ones are cool. And again, if you, like, in your spare time, like to make emotes, we have 1 extra slot on the main channel, so feel free. That's always appreciated, never frozen. I see a couple of red doors. I see, there's an area to the left. Like, straight ahead, then left. there's a video about chicken. Do you like chicken sandwiches from fast food places, chat? Alright, these guys. This room is Crackle Room. It's because the fucking waterfall and the loud, like, gargles overlap and it just shits itself. So anyway, yeah, the chicken sandwich, there was like a you know, taste thing, there was a taste test. And, it's just some dumb video I had on while I was cleaning my house, and the chicken sandwich that got the most respect. Like, if they just had a bunch of chicken, grilled chicken, and they had a bunch of people have it blind, and there was a real chef chicken, like a guy made chicken, and that was the one that won. So they were able to figure out that that one was, like, real. The idea was, which chicken do you like best, and which chicken do you think is real? And Wendy's came in second, actually. Subway not only looked gross, but pretty much came in dead last. And then they found out that, they did some tests, like they sent the chicken to a lab, and they found out that just over 50% of the chicken was actually chicken, and the rest of it was like some kind of like compound. And it wasn't a harmful compound, and we're not talking about like goat cock or anything like poison. It wasn't like poison oak. But it was enough that... Let's just say it was enough that, you could tell the difference. It was like a, yeah, synthetic protein, you know. So, next time you eat them chicken sandwiches, just keep in mind Subway is half not chicken. Subway, eat dick. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what the point of this device is. Like, in a practical sense. It's good. Listen, I don't care what happens. You know, if you're gonna add a little extra proteins, that's fine. I'm not gonna eat it unless I feel like, okay, it's good. I don't feel like shit when I'm done eating it. That's good. Good enough for me. If there's a couple extra proteins, I'll deal with it. However, I don't give a shit what's in Popeyes. I just want it in me. Someone said Bojangles is better. What the fuck is a Bojangles? Is that just like a random unrelated thing? I like Popeyes too, Vinny, but you know, I find Bojangles the Singing Monkey to be a lot better. It's Southern. It's more, it's a chain we don't have here. Alright, good. At least it is a chicken-related topic, and not just some, like, rando... a different thing. That's good. Yeah, so that's good. I, again, stuck... I know where a save room is. There's a lot of stuff going on down here. Yeah, this level is pain. This whole area is pain. American cuisine. Yeah, I know. They call them fast foodies. Hello and welcome. Go to the Dark World? I would like to. I have to figure out how to switch the thing again. I'm having a bit of brain problem. As I probably did many years ago when I first played this. Can't do anything there. I can't actually jump to the portal. Vinny, are you personally attacking my lifestyle choices? Maybe it's okay to attack lifestyle choices if they're gonna kill you. You know, eventually. That's okay, though. You could be whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. I'm not gonna stop you. But, yeah, you should definitely, eat less, fast food overall. How's that sound? Is that fair? What is your opinion on vegetables? I think you should eat more vegetables than fast food, is my opinion on vegetables. That said, I'm not criticizing your lifestyle choice, because I had a juicy McBurger the other day with their new, never frozen beef. Let me tell you something. I enjoyed it. Sure, I had to consume, like, 3 or 4 Tums afterwards. But did you know that McDonald's uses the best, never frozen, most quality beef that you can create in a lab? Gee, they're taking away my business. Drip, they're taking away the business. No, I was telling my mods the other day, like, I didn't feel like cooking. There was a, I guess, what was it, last week, or I guess it was last week. I didn't feel like cooking. And I went to a fast food restaurant, and I'll tell you which one afterwards. Because I don't want it to look like, in a world where anyone, even with, like, a large group of friends, can take a sponsorship deal, I wouldn't want it to sound like I'm specifically advertising this company. However, I went there, I was like, I don't feel like cooking, I'm gonna go. I feel guilty about this. But I went, and I got this delicious burg with a chicken wrap and a green tea, and I waited in the drive-thru for all of 1 minute, maybe less, and it was like really hot, and it was tasted fresh and not gross, and I didn't feel like shit after I was done eating. And I was like, excuse me, this is fast food? So, I was shocked, but I really just did not feel like cooking. I did not feel like waiting for, like, you know, something. So, I mean, fast food is insidious in its utility. How often do you eat fast food? I try to eat fast food less than twice a month. Or, if that, like, twice a month. Though, I don't really count Five Guys as fast food. So if I can have a little bit more of that, I'd be happy to. Guess this isn't the spot yet. Are you still jogging? Oh, I don't jog, my friend. That's too much effort. I walk. But lately my hip has been pretty interesting. So that's been a challenge. Yeah, fast food, like Five Guys, I wouldn't consider fast food because they cook it there and they do use better ingredients, but it's still like artery clog. Like, you're gonna have some fun with that food. Someone said I had to go back to the temple grounds, and I thought maybe yes. Ah! What? My hip! Search for dark portals in Torvis. Alright. That seems like a better idea. I thought maybe with the super missile I could find some new shit up here, but I can't. No, but there's kind of nothing better for me, like, I made a steak, yesterday, before my stream, before my Sunday stream. And I went from medium rare to medium, a little bit over medium by accident, which, so it's just like steak and potatoes, basically, right? But I cooked it with butter and garlic, and even though I got from, my preferred medium rare to just above medium, the buttery garlicness of it was so good. I have to stop talking about food. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna stop right now. Ugh. I've also been watching a lot of Bourdain stuff again on YouTube about, like, his, you know, philosophies on certain foods, and rip Anthony Bourdain, but it's made me realize, you know, and appreciate cooking much more. There's a really good video of him eating Jiro sushi. Jiro is like a very prominent sushi chef in Japan. There's like a documentary about him, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. And it's really fascinating. So here's a portal. I can't get to it yet, though. It's a really good documentary. I'd recommend it if you have any interest in anything interesting. Even if you don't care about, like, sushi or cooking or food, it is still a very, very good documentary. I think I have to just head back even further. But, yeah, the one where Bourdain goes there and eats, and he's like, oh, this is the best sushi I've ever had in my life. And then there's one where he goes to Hopkey in New York City, which is the Chinese food place that I usually go to at 3 in the morning. And I can say that it is really quite amazing. Quite amazing. Yeah, the music in this game is great. I could just chill here. I think I'm now going the right way. It's a portal. Then there's this area here, which I want to get to at some point. Yeah, this is definitely the most confusing of the Prime games when it comes to navigation. Not in a frustrating way necessarily, but it can be. Prime 1 is a little bit more straightforward, but also extremely backtrack-oriented. Someone submitted the horse from yesterday's Android stream as an emote. Actually, multiple people have submitted that fucking horse. What a wonderful twist of fate it would be if we made the horse the official, like, mascot, and then we get sued by a fucking bootleg scam artist from the Android store. Morphology, Hunter Ing Elite Warriors of the Ing Horde. Phasing Shapeshifter, deadly in close combat, dislikes bright light. Wow, look at this fucker. I just realized that this is the Upside Down from Stranger Things. It really, really is. Oh man, where's Nick? Nick, ask your brother if they knew, if they played Metroid. Did the writers and producers play Metroid Prime 2? Thank you. That is my question. You knew? Considering they're my age. Oh, I'm sure that every Dark World in every video game and every story, every movie, every mirror universe in the Star Trek universe influenced the Upside Down. Vinny, have you met Egoraptor? That's an interesting question, with a very simple answer. I have not. It's not much of a story, is it? No. We were never in the same place at the same time. And, I'm not really the type of person that has enough clout where I could just be like, Mr. Raptor, please. I'd like to meet Mr. Raptor and talk to him about Crab Battle. You know Egoraptor didn't do Crab Battle, right? Crab Battle. Crab Battle. I do have some commonalities, though. Like, I don't read tutorials, and I get mad at the game. So... I try not to. I try to just blame myself. It's easier that way. Push the G, man. So many weird machines and servos and technological strangeties. That's not even a real word. Ing biomatter present in the subject. Subject was in the final stages of Ing possession. When our life signs went critical, subject's death was fatal to the Ing as well. I like when the music does that. When it's like wah, 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 wah. Dark Torvus Temple Key. One of 3 needed to open the Dark Torvus Temple. Yump! Not enough yump. Alright, here we go. I wish I had more light ammo. Hey, that's my upgrade. You fuck! Give it back! Oh my god, the damage! Oh my god! Not yet. Not yet. Shit. Trying to get that scan. Been thinking about those beans. Got it. Boost Guardian. Boost powered Warrior Ing. Boost Ball ability grants great speed to enemy. Target can only be damaged in solid form. Find a way to keep it solid. Oh, I know how to keep it solid. This whole time I'm losing HP. Ever so slowly. There you go. Bunch of people called that death. Motherfucker's tough. Okay, well... can be done. Someone said, I remember doing this boss with 3 energy tanks, you absolute moon man. Vinny, if you had Boost Ball in real, would you use it? It's an excellent question. The fuck does it mean? I guess the better question is, if you had Morph Ball in real life, what would you do with it? It's so fucking much damage for just touching the goo. Boost time. There we go. Gonna knock him out of boost ball mode. I'm not going for 100% scans, chat. I'm really not. I already missed a number of missable scans. So, don't have a cowabunga, man. Come on. Come on. Just a little bit more. Ugh. Damage. Too much damage. This is not good. Holy shit. Oh, wait a minute, I'm still dying. Dies after fight is over. Boost. Booskaboo. Oh, I'm reading this Final Fantasy VII book. I was gonna talk about a couple of things in it. I'm not reading it in order. What's his name? Sin City Assassin sent this book to me, and it's... I forget the name of the book, and I don't have it close enough that I can just... you know, tell you the name of it, but, it's really interesting. I mean, it covers the lore, you know, the development of the game, and, it knows what the game is. You know, it doesn't treat it like it's this godly thing. It treats it as what it was, which was in the right place at the right time. It's got, my favorite part of the book so far is the development stuff is great, but my favorite part of the mysteries, some of which are actually, like, errors. So what are considered mysteries, a couple of them are just oversights. Like Sephiroth having gloves in one scene, and then the next scene he doesn't have gloves. And there's some explanation for that. There are lines of dialogue that are kind of semi-explained as to why they could be screwy. Well, the explanation for the Sephiroth glove thing is that the two cutscenes were jammed together, but there's a very high probability based on, like, data mining that, and I'm not gonna say what scene it is, but there's a very high probability that these cutscenes were actually supposed to take place in two different parts of the game. But then, for certain purposes, they jammed them together. Could they not have asked the devs? I'm sure they probably could have. Maybe it wasn't as easy as it seems. Like, who do you ask on the team specifically? Here's another interesting one, like the Ancient Forest, which is, an endgame bonus area. That particular area, you get a bunch of, like, ultimate weapons and items, and it's kind of, somewhere by Cosmo Canyon, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just this unrelated forest area that you head to at the end of the game and you get a bunch of bonus stuff. Well... There's a really high probability that that particular section was supposed to be near, the City of the Ancients. Or right before the City of the Ancients, which is a very pivotal and crucial part of the game. And the reason for that is that there's a cave that's up on a ledge that you can't get to. But if you mine the game's data, you can see, like, it has pathing, and, the enemy numbers are actually listed throughout the game in which, you know, the order that you find them. And the enemies in the forest happen just as you get to that spot where the cave is. So I may not be explaining this amazingly, especially if you don't know the game like the back of your hand, and I kinda don't, but I also kinda do, sadly. But anyway, that ancient cave was supposed to be there. It's where Aerith leaves your party. But the pacing of this particular, you know, moment would have been really off. So there's a very high probability that they said, fuck it, let's just, you know, we'll throw it to, No. When Aerith leaves your party to go to the City of the Ancients for the first time, and then you have to find her. Did you ever wish that Final Fantasy VII didn't become as big as it did? Well, that's a tough question because you don't know what kind of games were influenced and what would have happened otherwise. Like, we know that the RPG thing, the JRPG thing blew up because of Final Fantasy VII. We know that a lot of modern developers Western and Eastern alike cite Final Fantasy VII as their first RPG, or the one that got them into RPGs. So, you know, who knows, really? Rotted. Exposure to radiation has weakened this tree. Several parts of the tree have begun to rot due to exposure to phazon and densium. Power bomb, right? That's like saying, where would we be if Zelda 1 didn't come out? Like, I think it's fine that it became as popular as it did. The game is crusty, no doubt. But part of the reason why it's so loved, too, is because of the crust. It's memorable crust. When I played through it recently, well, recently enough, I had no problem making fun of this game. A game that I held to be, like, very holy, because I was obsessed with it for a couple years. Just because there was really nothing like it. The setting, the themes, it was a really crazy game to play at that age, but the point is, maybe I wouldn't have made fun of it as much in the past, but now I have no problem with that. And it makes it more fun for me. Crocus, toxin-eating forager. Heavily armored, attack when it exposes its gills to damage it. That's not a horker, that's my wife! Yeah, Final Fantasy IX is my shit. But it took Final Fantasy VII to really get me interested. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Final Fantasy VI. I only played after 7. So, one can say, thank you, Final Fantasy VII. Introducing me to these other great games. No, I wasn't taking a piss. It's just called The Legend of Final Fantasy VII, and yeah, it covers, like, in-depth, the spin-offs, you know, the producer of the game, the secrets, the mysteries, which, again, are basically... There's a section in here, inconsistencies and errors. I love this one. Midgal. It's a good chance Midgar was spelled incorrectly. Duplicated Masamune. Cable car propellers are backwards, in Soldier or not, the depth of the lake, Shinra number 26, recruiting Vincent on disc 3, you know, all these cool little inconsistencies and glitches and developmental errors. What a crusty game that is. That's like another, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Ocarina of Time. Like, so Ocarina of Time came out in a very similar time frame, like around the same time. So it was either, for a lot of people, it was either Ocarina or Final Fantasy VII. Or for me, it was both. You know, I loved both. But both games were so ambitious and so big for their time that they were both extremely glitchy. I mean, just watch speedruns of either game. Well, I had Ocarina first, I think. I think I was, late. I think I was a latecomer to Final Fantasy VII. I don't remember by how long, though. Maybe a year or two? No, maybe just a year? Okay, I'm gonna need some dates. When did Final Fantasy VII and Ocarina of Time come out? Does anyone know? Can anyone do a quick wiki for me? February 1997 for 7. And OOT was 98. That was like November, right? November 98. So, Ocarina came out a year and a half after 7. Wow, okay. That's a time frame that I had totally confused. So yeah, I probably had both around the same time. Because I think I was like a year late to the Final Fantasy VII train. And then... yeah, Ocarina was later that year. That's fucking insane to think about. Metal Gear Solid was probably... when did I get that? Around the same time as Ocarina of Time. I got it for Christmas. Jesus. Just so many games in a row that were, like, kind of amazing that came out. Like, amazing and influential and remembered. And GoldenEye came out in 98 or 7? This room is garbage, and it is off-key. It's flat. GoldenEye was 97, okay. Half-Life, I probably... so, the way it was Nintendo 64, then PS1, and then shortly after PS1, I got a computer that was decent enough to play Half-Life. So... yeah, it was like a year and a half, 2-year span of, like, transformative gaming. And people wonder why I'm obsessed with video games. Specifically people that don't understand the streaming thing, which is less and less, but... happens from time to time. Warcraft 2, I remember, was a little earlier. I played that. Okay, someone mentioned Temple Grounds. Sounds good. I had Metroid Prime, 1. Like, I was so obsessed with the game's development and release, and I wanted it early, but no one wanted to give it to me early. At least I don't think. My memories are a little fuzzy. I might have got it a day early. I was always very... what's the word I'm looking for? Persistent. To go back to Temple Grounds. This is not the way to Temple Grounds. Let's go back. My, you know, it's funny, Metroid 1 was actually a game that I probably played even more than Super Metroid. No, I wasn't a brat. I was actually very respectful, very nice, but I just called all the places. You know, and I would, if I could find a place that would sell it to me early, I would be like, oh shit! And then, you know, my grandfather or my uncle would drive me. We're not talking a particularly long distance, but my uncle drove me to get Smash Brothers Melee. I remember that car ride on the way back. I was so excited, I wanted to shit myself. I think I took off from school that day. Oh my god. What is wrong with me? No, I didn't shit myself, but I did take off from school. I didn't take off for Ocarina of Time, though. Ocarina of Time was after school. That was the hardest day of school to get through. And I didn't pre-order the game. And so I had to... like, they had extra copies that they weren't going to sell until the pre-orders were, like, claimed. But I managed to, convince them and get a gold copy. Again, not a brat. I was just very sad. And they were like, here you go. So wait. Okay, so Metroid 1. Yeah, so Super Metroid was a game that, obviously, the reason I love the Metroid series so much is Super Metroid. But Metroid 1, that's a game that I would recommend playing at the age of 4. I mean, it was cutting edge, and it was really, really... it felt like there was an infinite amount of things to do in that game. There was always a new secret to be discovered. My cousin and I would just sit and play Metroid for hours and hours and hours, finding new shit, discovering, like, glitches, finding new weapons, combinations. And even though the game didn't age well, for its time... yeah, for its time, Metroid 1 was pretty fucking baller. There's a shortcut near the door. Oh, I see it, I see it. I think I played more Metroid than Zelda, because Zelda, I played a lot of, Zelda 1 and 2, but it seemed like, you know, once you figured out most of the stuff, well, there it was, you got it. Especially Zelda 2, there weren't a whole lot of secret things in Zelda 2. Zelda 1 had, like, the trees that you could burn down and stuff. Anyway, here's some lore. Amidst this turmoil, we discovered many disturbing anomalies. Spatial disturbances appeared across the land. Objects went into a state of dimensional flux, their atoms divided between Aether and somewhere else. There was little time to ponder these strange happenings, for we had to deal with the devastation of our lands. I think this is my favorite song in the game at the moment. I don't remember the rest of the soundtrack, but this one, every time I come back here, I love it. So anyway, yeah, Metroid 1. It's hard to play these days. I remember trying to stream it a couple of years back. As in like 4 or 5 years back, and I just got bored of it. Another thing is, too, sometimes, you know, you would just get too lazy to enter a password, because it had a password system. Man, I remember I had pieces of paper strewn about the house that had passwords for, like, everything. Metroid, Kid Icarus. But a lot of times... Oh, I don't think I need to be here. Oh wait, yeah, maybe. A lot of times those passwords will get thrown out by... an overeager parent. An industrious parent, whatever you want to say. And the passwords would be gone forever. But it was okay because I wouldn't mind starting over. That was actually kind of part of the fun. Also, the idea of continuing a game was really new at the time. Like, the fact that Zelda had battery save, where you didn't have to enter a password, blew my mind. It didn't work all that amazing. I started just accepting the fact that sometimes your game saves would just get lost. And that's all there was to it. Did you ever call the helpline for tips and tricks? No. I did call support, like Nintendo support, when my Super Metroid copy stopped working, which is still... I've told the story plenty of times. That's my biggest heartbreak in gaming, when Super Metroid wouldn't load past the title screen. And I had to throw the cartridge out. I tried for weeks. Tried cleaning it, tried calling Nintendo, taking it to Babbage's. Yes, Babbage's, that was the name of a real place. But it just wasn't meant to be, and at one point I was encouraged to just throw the cartridge out because it was getting silly. But I really wanted to play the game again. Which made me love it more because I was unable to wear it out, and when I did eventually play it again years later, through an emulator, I mean, through a totally legal solution, it was that much better. It was like, yes. We had Babbage's, an electronic boutique. But, yeah, when Metroid and Zelda were out, I was still young, so I didn't really know that anything was really different. I mean, my earliest memories are playing Mario Bros. 1. Most of my early memories from fucking childhood are video games. I don't remember a lot of things. Like, I remember a couple things. I remember Marco peeing on my couch while we were playing Mario Brothers. He was a friend in kindergarten, and he peed on my couch. And I never wanted to hang out with him again, because my couch smelled like pee. So, you know, but in a lot of the games that were on the NES, like a lot of the more simple games, there were definitely, like, yeah, you start over. You play the game, and you start over. When the game is done. Or when you die. Or, you know, where you make it to a point where you get your high score. So I didn't mind starting over for Metroid. I didn't even mind starting over for Zelda. I would just, like, rotate through, like, the whatever couple of games I had. start new games, played through them again. They were just fun to play through. I also remember my cousin's friend got rid of his NES. I guess he sold it. This is like around 1991 or 2. And he just brought over a big brown paper bag filled with games. Most of them I had, the others sucked. There's a couple ones in there, like there was Excite Bike in there, and what else was in there? Operation Wolf? No, I had Operation Wolf. It's like a shoot game, light gun shoot. But there's also a game on there called Gotcha, which was like a paintball game that was like Operation Wolf, and that was in the bag, and that was garbage. It's Mr. Magoo Gyromite. Okay, I am not able to do any other progress yet. So, I leave. Oh, there we go. If you get stuck, game's like, no, no, no. It's at least way less handholdy than a lot of the other Metroid, games after Fusion. And you can turn it off, yeah, if you want. I'm fine with leaving it on. God knows I could use that. Well, since I'm talking about NES nostalgia, I may as well continue. Just for a little bit longer. I was really obsessed with dinosaurs because of this game called Joe and Mac. I just have a couple of assorted memories that, man, I wish I remembered more stuff, but this is some stuff that sticks out. And I remember renting Joe and Mac, which was a kind of a fun co-op caveman dinosaur kill game, and my cousin and I really liked it. So I wanted more dinosaur games, so I played this Godzilla game for the NES that was okay. And then I played this other dinosaur game, maybe someone knows the name of it, and I've probably talked about this on stream in the past. But you're like a little dude, but then you go into a dinosaur like mech. And there's different like phases of the game depending on, not bonk, but depending on what you're doing. Zords sounds like bonk. Really, was it bonk? Yeah, like you're like a really, really tiny dude, but there's like a... You jump into mechs and then you kill dinosaurs. Regardless, it was... Oh, voice crack. Regardless, it was okay. The problem is when you have games like Zelda and Metroid and Castlevania and Contra as your, like, you know, primary memories and the games that you have, it's kind of hard to live up to that. Dino Wars. Yep, it's Dino Wars. Age of Anxiety. In time, the roar of a wounded planet subsided. The air, though fouled, was breathable. Light made its way through the dark veil over our world. Slowly, we ventured out from the shelters of our homes to see what remained of our paradise. What little comfort we gained by surviving was soon shattered, for when we had looked outward, all we saw was devastation. Half the planet's energy had vanished from the energy controllers. Aether had become violently unstable as a result. Of the stellar object which struck our home, there was no sign. So, a lot of my rental choices were not great because I just tried to find the next Zelda. I was like, everyone makes Zelda. No, everyone does not make Zelda. There's a game called Athena that looked like Zelda 2 that I rented, and it ended up being one of the most frustrating gaming experience that a young me could have. This looks like a trap. X-Car, first sentinel of Aether. It was X-Car who discovered the world of Aether and led her people to settle on the wondrous surface. Scan indicates that this Luminoth was very young at time of death, not quite to adulthood. That a child would be pressed into combat duty suggests how desperate the Luminoth were at the war's end. Remarkably well-preserved bodies. Then again, who the fuck knows what a decacycle is? Subject was an elderly Luminoth, approximate age 4.2 centicycles. Advanced age did not keep him from defending the site or engaging in combat, however. Someone in chat just said child soldiers in a Nintendo game over a decade before Splatoon. Object is part of a containment system and is secured by a series of rotating locks around it, which are in turn controlled by a group of spinners. So, I'll just finish my dinosaur story. I told my dad that I wanted a dinosaur game, and he was like, okay, you know, I'll get you a game on the way home. And he went to Blockbuster and he came back with a Genesis game. I didn't have a Genesis. That sucked. Gigunk, the fourth Sentinel of Aether, Sentinel when the Ing brought war to Aether. He died in battle while defending the Great Temple. Okay, that was easy. Gonna lead your shots. Just spend all of my time taking out the indigenous animals. There we go. So I should probably read how to use it, because I didn't... Hold Y? Good. I was like, oh, I'll figure this out. Now that is good stuff. I ego-raptored the fuck out of that item. No, it's game grumped, actually. Yeah, that's what you have to call it. When you skip the tutorial, fail, and then blame the game. He even tweeted about it, Aaron. There's a tweet about that. He's like, I guess it's a verb now. At least he's got a good sense of humor about it. Listen, I'm no angel. You know what I mean? I've got plenty of shit that I do that's stupid. What would be divine- oh man, am I really gonna open myself up to this? Alright. When you Vinesauce something, what is it? What do you do? Take a piss when you glitch a game? Actually, yeah, I guess glitching, that's not so bad. It's not as harsh as I thought it would be. I bep duck noises dab? I don't dab. Also, can I get to that portal just yet, or no, chat? When you feed a gherkin to meat. Meme noises. I like meme noises. You can never get to that portal? That's a shame. Seemed like a nice portal. Purple doors are now available. When you waste stream time on games you've already streamed? That hasn't happened recently. There was a time where I streamed, like... I streamed Chrono Trigger like 4 times. I streamed Final Fantasy IX like twice, 7 twice. I just kept streaming the same fucking games over and over and over again. But I've never streamed this. Mario Luigi Superstar Saga I never streamed. But there's also, like, the indie games. Like, I've done Spelunky plenty, and then I returned to it. So, I'd say that that's fair to an extent. You haven't finished Desert Bus? I also haven't finished Beverly Hills Cop. I'm gonna head back to the Torvus Bog. Man, Samus's ship looks so fucking cool. That's just the best part. Seeing all the cool shit that worked in Super Metroid, and then expanding it in 3D. I hope they do that with Prime 4. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck up Prime 4. Take your time with it. Speaking of taking one's time, I should probably take my time and navigate appropriately. Scan that dude. I've looked at him many a time, indeed. Vinny, you should stream Metroid Prime 2. I just had a really good idea for an April Fool's jape. Start a new game of a game that I'm streaming already from the beginning and just stream it like I'm not already streaming it. And then when I'm done streaming it, resume my save file and continue streaming the game from that save file. That's pretty good, but now that you know about it, it can't be done. I could have stayed silent, but I thought I'd let you in on the joke because I'm too lazy to actually do that. Revolutionary streaming here, folks. Taking streaming to the next level. It's not even that funny of a joke. People are like, do it in a year or two. We'll forget by then. I'll probably forget by then. Oh, the other thing about, I wanted to mention about Nintendo's E3. We know the Virtual Console. I'm at the point now where I wasn't even expecting the Virtual Console. I made almost no mention of it. But man, how great would it have been if they said, starting tomorrow, you can download these 5 GameCube titles for $10 on your Nintendo Switch. We're doing a 20% off sale if you get all 5 of them at the same time. Super Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, Luigi's Mansion, and, Billy Hatcher Egg Game, because fuck you. That game was actually kind of good. But I didn't expect Virtual Console because I know that they're trying to do something a little different with their weird online thing. Reggie just had, this is what reminded me to talk about this. Reggie just did an interview where he said that Nintendo's online service is the successor to the Virtual Console. And I'm not so sure about that. I'm having my doubts. And I really hope that I get to own the games, or at least have them tied to an account. You know, if they're tied to an account that I can then access on all future Nintendo systems without ever having to buy them again, great. But, I just worry that Nintendo's not gonna strike while the iron's hot on this one and miss out on opportunities, and then people are gonna, like, use, you know, it's an issue of service, right? So why did Spotify happen? Because Napster happened. And why did Napster happen? Because the industry was, like, making music fucking impossible. You know, streaming services probably would not exist unless piracy, like, got as out of hand as it did. That's my opinion. I'm sure plenty of people have counterpoints. It's an interesting conversation to have, you know, it's something to think about. How piracy influenced our current, like, models of, both music and, like, movies and TV shows. And cable dying and, you know, losing viewers monthly. And I hope that that doesn't happen with Nintendo, where the primary virtual console becomes homebrew, because people will do it. People do get sick of it. However, if you do, you know, if you provide a service, people will buy the games again. It's not that hard to emulate, folks. I mean, have you ever known anyone that would emulate a video game, even like, say, a GameCube game, just because it's easier and because it's available readily and because the resolution is increased? Have you ever known anyone that would do something like that? Where if it were on the virtual console, they would have bought it for up to 20 bucks because of the, you know, the just ease of access, wanting to support a company you like, wanting to have it portably. It seems like there maybe is a good reason for Virtual Console. But okay, alright. I'll tell you what, Reggie. That's fine if you want to do... if you want to do your thing with your Nintendo Online. I'm down to learn about it. It's just a shame that we didn't learn about it during E3, which is the time to learn about these things. I know that Link's down B move is now remote detonated. I know that Pit has the Thunder Chariot as his smash, final smash. And while these things are very interesting, I would have definitely been down to learn about this online service as well. When is Metroid gonna make a cameo in Skate 5? Okay, so I'm not very good at this right now. Thoughts on Fallout 76? Oh, I talked about that ad nauseum. Just because I'm bored of talking about it, I'm not gonna do it. But I'll say that you could probably find that online. And, me and KY are probably gonna talk about it on the, 2 on the Vine E3 edition. So, in short, I'm cautiously optimistic, especially the more I learn about the game, the more I want to get my hands on it. And see what it's all about. But, let me go back to ragging on Nintendo, because I love to do that. I so love to criticize Nintendo. They do a really good job when their back is against the wall. And I think that, Virtual Console... now that they're doing really well with the Switch, I hope they don't get arrogant again, because they've gotten complacent and arrogant before. And it cost them on a number of occasions. And, you know, I hope that NOJ's new president does something in the way of legacy games and realizes the utility and demand and desire for these things in a way that isn't just, here, you get a game for a month, here's Balloon Fight with online play. Like, I don't know if you know this, Nintendo, but many people really love Balloon Fight. It's not considered like a classic of game. It's good. Sure, it's a little bit of fun. It was more fun in the 80s, whatever, but man, they've given that game away for free so many times now. It's fun for like 2 minutes. Oh, this room is Japes. Oh, I'm gonna head through that portal over there and see what happens. Okay. Considering I started Metroid a little bit late, I wanted to go a little extra, but I'm gonna probably stop very shortly. Oh, here's an interesting thing. I apparently predicted Smash Ultimate. Someone sent me the clip. Oh fuck, was it on Twitter? I semi-predicted it. I didn't fully predict it, but it was during my Metroid Samus Return stream, oddly enough. And I was talking about how they have the assets already. And they could just put in a bunch of characters and touch up the old ones and call it Smash 4 Ultimate. So I got the Smash 4 part wrong, but I called that it was going to be called Smash Ultimate. So I guess thanks. Let's be honest, this isn't exactly the most obscure of titles. I'm going to sue Sakurai, but aside from that, it's understandable how it could be a total, like, parallel thinking thing. Oh shit, Phazon. Nintendo is watching your stream. Better be PG. Listen, I would not... I'm going to say I've already been made aware that there are people that work at NOA that watch my streams, and they're wonderful human beings. I deeply, deeply value their viewership. Probably no one like Reggie. I don't think Bill Trinan is watching. I don't think anyone from Nintendo's, like, upper management is watching. But that's a nice thing to know. It's very flattering. We know Todd is watching. I would not be surprised. Listen, I streamed Skyrim for like 6 months. I wouldn't be surprised if Todd threw on Twitch, let's see what's going on. And he saw someone playing Skyrim and he was like, oh, this is great. Get to see this Vinesauce guy play my game that I worked so hard on, that I love dearly, that I try to sell to my children, so they understand the value of both money and my video games. Okay, I can't get up there. And then it's me just talking about Cicerossi's, attempting to glitch a cow, shitting on Todd, playing bingo. I would love for Todd to get in touch, though. I want to tell him he did a great job presenting at E3. Again, whether or not you like the guy, he is very charismatic. He's a terribly charismatic duck, and I respect the fuck out of his joie de vie that he brings to these E3 presentations, which usually suck the soul out of the room. There's a dude in chat named Todd Howard Official. I watch your streams all the time, pal. So which one of you logged into your alt? That's his first message of the night. Alright, email me then. Go on. Secretly, I would love for Todd to email me and say hi. Be like, hey man. I just want to be like, listen dude, fix your fucking games, also I like your games. Please note the characters at the end of the name. Is it like... It's officii? Oh, the L is an I. Nice job, dude, you did it. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Even fake Todd Howard lies to me. Jesus. Alright, I'm gonna stop here. I think I have some idea of where I need to go. I need to hit up a portal, go to the light world. And, there's a door here. Like, I could do some backtracking here before I get to Torvis. And then there's this whole subsection of rooms here, so I know generally, you know, what I'm doing. We're making good progress. 2 major items tonight. Killed a boss. Killed a boss and killed like a boss, I guess. Good. I blame Todd Howard official for making me stop streaming right now. Right? Like a boss, everybody dabs on the haters. I'm sorry. That was a clench moment, huh? Vinny, I'm clenching so hard right now. Alright, let's take a look at the art. No one... You know what? Todd didn't email me, but I got a new Waluigi emote. But we're already good. We have 2 now. Hang on a minute. Hang on, there's another good one. That's not bad. We can replace Vinesauce. Vinesauce is Frankerface. You don't need to replace anything. I have like another 25 slots. Also, video editor's position has been filled. Thank you for anyone who applied to, excuse me, applied to make a video in particular. It was the E3 compilation video. It's all filled up. What happened to Vappy? Vappy's not my video editor. Southbird is. And he's doing fine. He was just on vacation for a little bit. Vappy's fine. What the hell? Vappy just uploads the stuff to... Well, he cuts the videos down. I mean, he does a lot of fucking hard work. If you want to get an example of Vappy's hard work, I want to give you one right now before I check the art. And I didn't know that this absolute unit was doing these things. Until recently, actually, until like very, well, not really recent, like, I guess I thought he was only going to do them for stuff where people would want to know what the games are. But it turns out Vappy annotates even the terrible things so that when you watch my Android shit shows, you know exactly what games I'm streaming and when. Even if you don't want to know them. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of fucking work, aside from him making thumbnails and keeping up to date. You know, I stream almost every day. The dude's working every day, and he has a job. I mean, I gotta give the guy credit. He knows what he's doing, and he does it well. So, yeah. Anyway, Vappy, please cut.